What's up? Inflatable Enthusiast here, and I got a brand new review for you guys today. This is on the Gemmy 2023 20-foot tall air-balloon inflatable Santa's Biggest Helper, or 20-foot elf on the shelf, I guess you could say. So, Christmas is over now. It's now 2024. I wish I could have reviewed this earlier in the season, but obviously, as you know, I did a classic display this past year. So I only used inflatables from 2014 and before. So I ended up not really getting any 2023 inflatables, obviously for the display. But, next year is going to go back to the usual. I'm just going to do whatever. I'm still going to have classic inflatables, obviously, and I'm still going to have newer inflatables. So it's going to be, next year's just going to go back to the usual. Just putting out whatever I want, basically. So this year was really good. I loved the turnout of the display. There were a few things that I wish I could have gotten for the display, and it was very, very stressful setting it up because, as you know, classics nowadays are getting harder and harder to find in good shape. So I did the best I could, and I think it came out great. But I am definitely excited for next year so I can go back to the usual and, put out whatever I want, and I don't have to just do old decorations, because not only were the inflatables classic, I only used old lights too. Old lights, old blow molds, and light up decorations. Like all those 2D decorations you saw were all old light up things from AtHome, which I think was Kmart or something like that. I don't know. But I found a lot of old light up things at my grandparents' house that I used. So everything in the yard was old. The only thing that was new was practically like the extension cords that I used. So, yeah. But next year, like I said, going to go back to normal, using newer stuff. So I am going to start posting reviews of newer inflatables now, because I did get some 2023 designs now that the holidays are over. And this is one of them. And I also got the BJ's Grinch scene, so stay tuned for that video. And I got a few more coming. It was really hard to get these, though, because, getting them late in the season is impossible, because inflatables nowadays just fly off the shelves. This one I was able to get online, but unfortunately most of the things in stores I was not able to get. I tried getting a bunch of Lowe's inflatables for like Black Friday and stuff like that. Like I really wanted the caroling Mickey and the Snoopy. And then I also really liked the 12-foot Nutcracker from Lowe's and stuff. But all of those were completely wiped out at my local Lowe's. So it was very hard to get 2023 designs. So I am unfortunately going to have to buy most of them off of resellers, because there were quite a few designs that came out this past year that I really, really liked, that I want to try to get. So, like I said, stay tuned. The next couple months will be videos from 2023 inflatables. And I know I'm late to the party, but, like I said, I did a classic display, so I couldn't really, I didn't really want to buy any new designs, because I wanted to put all of my money into, older stuff into the display. So yeah, anyways, sorry about that super long intro. It's the first video of the year. I just wanted to clear up some things. So yeah, here's the inflatable itself. So this is the 20-foot elf on the shelf. Gemmy hasn't had this license in years. They used to make elf on the shelf inflatables back in like 2015 and 2016, I believe, when they came out with the fireplace and stuff like that. And I absolutely love that design. And I really liked this one too when it came out. They also made a snow globe, which I don't care for as much, but it's still pretty cool. I don't think I'm going to get it though. I've heard, that it doesn't really inflate super good, and I just don't really care for the overall design of it. But this one really stood out to me. A 20-foot tall elf on the shelf is really cool. I think I said it in my video for the fireplace. I love the elf on the shelf tradition. I used to love it when I was a little kid, and it's definitely way more commercialized nowadays, and it's the whole elf on the shelf brand has grown so much, and I don't really care for it as much anymore. But inflatables and stuff like this they hold somewhat of a sentimental value to me, because I used to love elf on the shelf when I was younger, because my family did the tradition and stuff like that. So yeah, I really wanted to get this one, and I'm glad that I did. So this was sold at AtHome for $199. You can see right there the tag and stuff like that. You can see AtHome with the collaboration with Elf on the Shelf and Elf Pets. colossal size, Santa's biggest helper. I do actually kind of like that name. I think it's a little bit more funny than just 20-foot elf on the shelf. I like that they said Santa's biggest helper. And then, yeah, 20 feet LED. So I love the box art of this thing. It shows different elf on the shelf characters. Like you got an elf boy right there, an elf girl on the side. And then on the back here, it's kind of just like the same. But it's like there's a shipping label right there. The Lumic Stella company, I guess that's the new company that owns Elf on the Shelf. I'm used to Chanda A. Bell and stuff like that. Obviously the original like authors and creators of Elf on the Shelf. So I don't know anything about that company, but I guess that's the new company that owns the Elf on the Shelf brand. And then here's the other side. You can see another skeleton elf boy. So yeah, and then the top of the box here has an elf girl, a boy, and then the Arctic fox elf pet. Like I said, oh, okay, there's still tape on the box here. But yeah, like I was saying, the Elf on the Shelf brand name has like grown so much since I was younger. Like when I was a kid growing up in the late 2000s, the Elf on the Shelf was like it wasn't a very well-known thing. A lot of families had an Elf on the Shelf, but like it wasn't nearly as popular as it is today. You know, nowadays, like I said, you have the elf pets. There's a bunch of different clothes and stuff you can buy for your elf and everything. Like when I was a kid, I just remember the book, and that was really it. Like you had an elf, it was in a different spot every day, but now there's like so many different things that people do with Elf on the Shelf, and it's like the brand name is like crazy. It's so huge now. They've definitely made a lot of money off of it. So this is actually my first 2023 inflatable I'm opening, and with these new ones this year, they use like the milky white kind of grocery looking bags. I personally don't really care. I don't like it as much because it just looks weird and I'm not used to it. But the steak pack there, and then the inflatable itself, the instructions obviously. So yeah, anyways, we'll go ahead and take it out and we'll inflate it. Okay, so I got it all staked down in the yard over here. I just staked down the bottom of his feet. I didn't do tethers or anything. What I've heard about this guy, for some reason, which I think is kind of interesting or weird, they made his feet colossal fabric, or moonbounce fabric, whatever you want to call it. But then everything above his feet is like normal or slightly thicker inflatable fabric. I'm not sure why they did that. I don't know why they didn't just make the whole thing colossal fabric. That would have been much better, but you know, it's fine. As long as it withstands the weather, it'll be good. And the base really is kind of the most important part of the 20-footers. So, yeah, anyways, it has a YF 80, which I wish it had a 125 or 200 like all 20-footers should have. But, you know, we'll see how well this inflates. Alrighty, so I got it inflating now. Like I said, the YF 80, I've heard, does a good job. Because it's a 20-foot inflatable, but he's really, really skinny. I think he's actually more thin than the Nutcracker or the Toy Soldier, whatever it is. So I don't want this video to get too long because it's already got really, really long with me rambling on at the beginning. So I'm just going to cut the video when he's done inflating. Alrighty, so here he is all inflated. And wow, every time I take out a 20-footer, I forget like just how big they really are. And, you know, like I said, since I did a classic display, I didn't put any 20-footers in the yard this year. So it's my first time seeing one in a long time. And I love them even more when I see them in person. I absolutely love this design. This is one of my favorite 20-footers, if not my favorite, to be honest. I love the Nutcracker, don't get me wrong. But every time I see like an Elf on the Shelf, it just brings me back, you know, just childhood memories of, you know, waking up every morning, racing to see where the elf was. You know, I miss those days. But this design definitely brings that feeling back. As you can see, he is leaning. It's not too windy out. I literally just staked him right there because he kept leaning into the fence. All of a sudden now, though, as I've started filming, he wants to blow around. If the wind kicks up, though, I'll stake him down even more. But right now, it's not really. It's just a few breezes. But yeah, I love this design. Again, 20 feet is it's awesome. Yeah, his feet are colossal fabric, but the rest of the inflatable is just like normal inflatable fabric. It might be a little bit thicker, but I don't think so. But he inflates really, really good. The YEF 80 does a great job. He gets up in about like a minute. It really doesn't take him very long. You can see the giant present he's holding there. I absolutely love it. I think it looks great. You know, the iconic elf zigzag scarf that they wear. His face looks great. One thing that I loved a lot about the older Elf on the Shelf inflatables, like the one with the fireplace, is for the face they used like the storybook design of like the elf on the cover, or just like the illustrated elf face look. I do really like that, but honestly, originally I wish they did it on this inflatable, but I honestly like this look better on the 20-foot one for some reason. I feel like the smaller Elf on the Shelf inflatables look better with the illustrated book-like facial design, but I feel like for this design it actually works, that it's like a bigger, it's like a more realistic kind of like cartoony look to it, like that they have nowadays in like the cartoons and like the shows. So yeah, now he's leaning a lot. But anyways, yeah, I love this thing to death. I'm really glad that I got it. Definitely one of my favorite 2023 designs. Yeah, I'm gonna have to keep pushing this guy back up. It's got four tether loops, I guess you could say. 2 on the side right above like his legs. And then they put the 2 bottom ones in the middle of his feet, and then in the back. I thought they put them on the side like they usually do, but they put them on the back and front. And I have those 2 staked down as well. So yeah, again, I really love this thing. Super glad that I got it. One of my favorite 2023 designs. And like I said, stay tuned. I'm going to be getting more 2023 designs, and I'll be reviewing them through like the rest of January and February. So yeah, anyways, I'll get like a straight shot of it from the front. I'm just kind of standing in the shade off to the side. But yeah, this thing is awesome. I really, really like it. Might be my favorite 20-footer. I don't know. The 20.5-foot snowman family is awesome. I love that design too, but one of mine ripped last year, and then I had to get a replacement to finish off the year, and then I ended up selling it because it was just a hassle and too much of a risk. I didn't want it to rip again. So yeah, I try to stick with like the basic 20-footers, like the Nutcracker, the Santas, like the 20.5-foot long or the 21-foot archway this year is really cool, but I would never buy it. It's too expensive, and it looks nice, but it's not the best design in the world. I personally don't care for the design. I just like to stick with the, you know, just the simplistic 20-footers like this, like the Snowman, the Santa, the Nutcracker, and now the Elf on the Shelf. And I really do like the redesigned Snowman and Reindeer this year. I really, really loved those ones, so I might try to get those. Who knows? But yeah, anyways, that's it for this review. I'm the Inflatable Enthusiast, and I'll see you guys next time.